Hey everyone, and welcome into a brand new episode of Gridiron Dynasty Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm not going to say the episode number again because I don't check before the podcast to figure out what number we're on, and Pat said the wrong one last time I did this. So, I think it's episode 12, but I could be wrong. So, as you can tell, we are joined by the beautiful Michael McCarron. I want to say that was planned, but it wasn't. He just did that all on his own. Who's a good boy? Who's a good taco? Okay, and as always, Pat is here. What?
What's a good taco? Carnitas.
Put the treat on his nose and see if he sits still.
Oh God, I already regret asking you to do this one.
Chorizo.
Michael. So, not a whole lot to dive into. A couple of interesting things happened over the past 48 to 72 hours. The biggest one is the Derrick Henry injury. Out 6 to 10 weeks, I think the prognosis was initially. They're hoping to get him back for the real life playoffs, which means he has no value for the rest of the year in fantasy football. He comes back in 6 weeks, that's great, but I don't think he's going to. It's a foot injury. But yeah, that's a big one. This show is being recorded on Wednesday, which means we're going to post it on Thursday, which means waivers have already passed, which means if you were lucky enough to grab a Jeremy McNichols, that's good, but it's a whole lot to do. If you could trade for a running back, trade for a running back. But seeing as this is a dynasty podcast, don't panic and trade away Derrick Henry for nothing. Just throwing that out there. Right, Taco?
7th round pick or nothing.
Okay, this is why we keep Mike around.
It's a good deal. Should take that.
Right, yeah. I should take that. You're absolutely right.
The hardest part you got here is that if you have Derrick Henry, you're probably in pretty good shape.
Yep. Felt that.
He's been producing, so you're probably sitting in playoff contention. Oh, Unity has joined the podcast, which is perfect. Can we just replace Mike with Unity?
Same input.
We both work for treats, so it's fine.
That's kind of what I figured.
Hi, baby.
Kind of what I figured.
Yeah, so
that would be, you're probably going to have to do something.
Yeah, which I'm trying to do in the league that I have Derrick Henry, and it's just incredibly difficult to do because running backs are very scarce, and I'm in the top 3 in that league, so I don't have a high waiver priority. So someone who is in last in that league was able to grab Jeremy McNichols.
Hey,
It's you, Mike.
that's me.
It's you.
Yeah.
See, I'm watching the waiver wire coming in hot.
I know you didn't pick up a kicker. I'm so proud of you.
Shocking.
I did.
I didn't. I had to drop a kicker today because that brings me to point number 2. You're not eating my wires, are you? Okay, thank you.
Technical difficulties.
So,
I mean, with Tim, you never really know what caused the technical difficulty, so this could really go either way.
yeah,
It looks
she's
like
just kind of
licorice,
chilling
to
over
be
here
fair.
right now.
Okay.
But biggest news number 2 is Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID. As all you probably know, he is not vaccinated. So per the NFL rules,
As you know now.
yeah, as you know now, he kind of hinted that he was vaccinated, but
Kind of lied. Let's just play it how it is.
he did, which means there might be more.
Yeah, he used a different
They
words.
are
They're
they're
investigating.
suggesting that he's out for at least 2 weeks. They're suggesting they're going to basically throw the book at him on the hold time, which means he's going to miss this week and next week.
Yeah, because he.
And then you have the possibility of being suspended because he's been violating COVID protocols all year long because he's been lying about being vaccinated.
Right.
So-
So that's a big.
They're either going to throw the book at the team or the team's going to throw the book at Aaron Rodgers.
And with the way that it's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers throw the book at Aaron Rodgers and say, hey, Jordan Love, show us what you got so that we can trade Aaron Rodgers in the offseason.
Drop that MVP contention right off the
Yes.
books.
So
Absolutely.
I had to
He
look
was
it up.
coming up.
Yeah.
Rodgers said he was immunized. Ugh. Can't talk. I'm tired.
Immunized. Yeah.
Not vaccinated.
He
So
also
they're like, okay, sounds
went
close
through-
enough to us.
Yeah.
He went through multiple interviews with the NFL and the media where he was kind of laying it on unvaccinated players and saying that it was a detriment to their team and so on. So he made it seem in a lot more ways than just saying that he was vaccinated. And when you follow vaccinated player protocol all year long, they expect you to be vaccinated. Seriously, just bring the dog up. I'll talk to Unity. I don't want either of you on this episode.
She
Took
just
a
like
shortcut.
Bring just Unity.
I've never seen her do that before. So.
She's paying more attention than the two of you are, so
I'm
have
listening
that
to
going
you.
for us.
Yeah, you were talking about Carnitas Tacos?
Yeah.
No, I was talking about Kirk Cousins, which is very similar.
Chorizo.
Yeah, no, so what Aaron Rodgers is, what he has is he got a different type of treatment other than the vaccine, which he petitioned the NFL to accept as a form of the vaccine or as a secondary option for the vaccine, to which the NFL said, okay, no. No.
We'll put that idea on the fridge.
Yeah, no,
and we'll
if
continue on with doing
if
what
the
we're doing.
CDC is not recommending it, then we're not going to recommend it as they should. I guess if you're going to recommend something, you probably should have something that says, hey, you should use this as a thing. So that's probably why he was laying it on thick on players like Kirk Cousins, saying they're a detriment to the team, because he, in his eyes, was immunized by his secondary form of treatment. So he was acting like he was vaccinated and all that stuff. So I have him in our Superflex League, and I traded away, as I believe we talked about it on the last podcast. I think that trade happened while we were recording. I traded away Derrick Carr. So
Sure did.
I had to quickly run to the waiver wire and I was able to luckily grab Jordan Love. So, and
Derek Carr finds himself in an interesting situation this week.
Yeah, which brings us to, which is number three.
We'll get to that one.
We'll get to
Great
that one
transition
next.
right there.
But
Number
I actually
three
don't.
might have been number one. Let's be honest.
I honestly don't mind. Well, I'm going with fantasy relevance, not real life relevance.
All right, fair enough.
So, because Derrick Henry is the second best player in fantasy football this year behind Cooper Kupp. So,
well, here's your real question for you while you're on this topic: has Aaron Rodgers played his last snap this year?
No, I don't think so.
way.
I don't think the NFL is actually going to suspend him for the full year or force Green Bay to suspend him for the full year. I think what's going to happen is Jordan Love's going to step in this week, and they're going against a subpar Kansas City defense, and they're getting Devontae Adams back this week. He's supposed to be practicing tomorrow, which would be today when this podcast posts. So he'll have his full set of weapons. And if Jordan Love
here's
is
more
anything
my question.
good,
It's not more of a do they want him to play? How does your team react when you've been lying to them all year?
I'm going to go ahead and say that there's no way that LaFleur didn't know this.
Yeah.
There's no way the head coach did not know this. There's no way.
Someone's
Organizations
getting the
knew
book
this.
thrown at them by this, and that's my only point. The Green Bay Packers are going to lose a very high draft pick, or they're going to pin
and a
this all
bunch
on
of
Aaron
money.
Rodgers.
Right, but if
So
they do pin it on Rodgers, there's no way that they didn't know. There's absolutely no way that they
I'm not
didn't know.
denying that. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
You know your team.
There's
You
no
have
way
to
LaFleur
submit.
didn't
The
know
NFL
this.
has to submit vaccination cards,
Right.
and you're not Cole Beasley, so.
Yeah.
That's you had to know, but now it happened. Now he got it, and AJ Green has it, who just played against him, and Devontae Adams just had it, who's on the same team. So there's a whole lot coming from this one situation. It's not one player who lied about one thing. It's multiple players going on the COVID list. And this is your big name opportunity, to put it nicely, for the NFL. This is your moment to take a big name and make a big statement. So the NFL can either shy away from it,
which I think
nothing,
they'll do. Which I think that's
which
what
they probably will do because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Or they have a chance to make a statement. Obviously, you're on the shy away from it side, and I tend to agree with you because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right. If it wasn't Aaron Rodgers, if it was a different big name player, not named Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, like, honestly, someone I could see this, like, if this happened to, like, an Ezekiel Elliott, someone who already has a prior instance with the league, then they'd be throwing the book at him because he already has that prior instance. Aaron Rodgers, aside from his whole drama middle school bullshit that he has with the team, hasn't caused waves with the NFL. He doesn't get suspended. He doesn't get in trouble with the NFL for problems. So I don't think they're going to throw the book at him because this is technically, I guess, his first offense. Someone else who had a prior instance probably would get the book thrown at them.
So if you're sitting here right now How many weeks do you think Aaron Rodgers is out?
2 at most.
4.
So no suspension.
I don't think he's going to get suspended at all.
Because he's out 2 weeks just with the COVID protocols for an
So there's the
unvaccinated
2,
player.
and then
He's unvaccinated.
adding
He's
2.
got to be out for 10 days.
I don't think they're going to
So-
suspend him at all.
That's 2 weeks. So you don't think them or the Packers are going to do any sort of one game?
I don't think
I
so.
don't believe the Packers
At
will.
most, it's
The
going to be
league
one
will
game
have to.
suspension. At most, he's out 3 games. I don't think he's out more than that, if that. But like I said, I think the Packers are going to lose this weekend to the Chiefs. Not because I think the Chiefs are a better team. Obviously, they struggled with the Giants this past Monday night.
Shockingly.
So they're going up against
throwing
Jordan
the
Love.
ball away. And let me phrase
Not
this
not
properly.
catching the
They're
ball.
not throwing the ball away. They don't know how to catch
Or hold
It's
on to
bouncing
it.
off their
Travis
face masks and
Kelce.
hands and
Let me tell you,
Everything else.
What
won.
is going
I
on?
love the shovel pass. I won a matchup because of a shovel pass at the end of the game to Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I beat Merrill because of that shovel pass at the end of the game. Thank God, because Travis Kelce pissed me off with that fumble.
Fumble. At least 2 passes that I could recall he dropped as well.
Yeah, so it's just,
Kelsey's been having a down year overall.
and he's still
Tyreek Hill has
tight
had
end, too.
3 balls bounce off of him for interceptions. McKinnon has been an interception machine every time he gets thrown the football.
I don't know why he's still
He
on the
can't
field.
catch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I don't think the Packers are going to win this weekend. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I don't think Jordan Love's going to struggle pretty much because, like I said, it's not a very good Kansas City defense. They have a lot of weapons in Green Bay, so I think it should still be at least a competitive game. I just give the edge to the Chiefs. I don't know who the Packers play next week off the top of my head.
I'm getting right there right now.
Thank you, Pat.
The Seahawks.
The Seahawks. So they're coming off the bye week. This could be the first game back with Russell Wilson then, because he'd be eligible to come back because the bye week would be the 3rd week on the IR.
But that is 2, to put it mildly, bad defenses.
Yeah, should be a fun game. A lot of scoring, even with Jordan Love at quarterback. So the way I look at it is, if the Packers can somehow split these 2 games, and they're still in the driver's seat for a top seed in the NFC, they're not going to suspend Aaron Rodgers. Because I'm assuming their matchups after this are going to be a couple more interdivision games and harder matchups because they still have to go through. They still have to play the Rams, right?
The next 2 games are the Vikings and the Rams.
Yeah, so I'd want Aaron Rodgers back for those 2 games.
Yeah.
If I'm the Packers. I don't want Jordan Love running the show against the Vikings. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Definitely don't want Jordan Love running the show against the Rams. Now that they got Von Miller.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So that's why I don't think the Packers are going to suspend him. I don't think they can suspend him. Like, I think Jordan Love can get them.
Decision.
I think Jordan Love can get them 1 win out of these next 2 games, and that still keeps them in the driver's seat to win the NFC North. And I think in order to keep winning the NFC North, Aaron Rodgers is going to keep playing football this year because the Packers want to win, obviously. So that's
Well,
The
they
last
have a
dance.
fairly
Jordan's last dance for Rodgers.
they have a
Yeah.
fairly comfortable lead in this also here.
they do, but they also want
I'm
that.
not mistaken.
Now that
They're
beat the-
7-1. They're 7-1. The next 2 teams are 3-4.
right. Also, they're now in first place in the NFC, correct? After beating the Cardinals, they're the number 1 seed.
Right, but you're missing them for the next 2 games. So
Believe me, I understand it, but Kyler Murray might miss this week too. That also helps them out because I don't know if the Cardinals can win without Kyler Murray at quarterback. Like I said, if Jordan Love splits these next 2 games, they come out of this 8-2.
the Rams are in first place.
Rams are in first place, but the Packers are only 1 game out. And
And
then
they got to play the Rams.
exactly. So that's even more point to Aaron Rodgers. I think is coming back at least for that.
Well, that's
Rams
why
game.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a 1-game suspension from someone, and then the game he's back is the game against the Rams.
Is that primetime game?
It's the Rams and the Packers. I don't know if it's prime time, but it's going to be.
No, what I'm
It'll
saying,
get
if that's
flexed.
set up as a Sunday night football or Monday night football game, I would not be surprised if the NFL does a 1-game suspension. So Rodgers' first game back is on national television.
It's 4:25.
It's
so
not. It's not.
it's the Fox game.
It's gonna be Fox's game of the
It's
week.
the Fox game.
Yeah, it's Fox's.
It's Thanksgiving weekend, so there's 3 games on already. So yeah, the game's going to be on TV.
Right.
It's
Okay.
it's the Fox 4:00 game.
Okay. On Thanksgiving or on Sunday?
It's the Sunday game.
It's a Sunday game. Okay. Yeah. So that's Fox's game of the week. That's Fox's. Then so, right. So at most 1-game suspension, I think, for Rodgers. It'd be a different story if the Packers were sitting at 3-5.
Yeah.
Right now. Be
And
different.
isn't it dumb how that's how it's based?
Yeah, it is, but that's how
dumb?
football works.
Yeah.
I think if the Packers were out of it, they would be like, okay, NFL, how many games do you want Rodgers suspended? We'll do that. So now we can get Jordan Love game time, seeing as he's our quarterback of the future.
Right.
So, and
Start working
How much
on
do you
that
think the
trade.
Packers regret not getting those 3 first-round picks right now?
a lot. They should have done it when they got the offer.
Make this someone else's problem right now. I'd rather be 3-5 and have this be someone else's problem than be sitting here with this on my lap.
Right,
Yeah.
100%. Because it's a foregone conclusion Rodgers not going to be a Packer next year. Even if they win the Super Bowl, Rodgers is not going to be a Packer next year. Personally, I think Aaron Rodgers winds up in Pittsburgh. But that's...
I still think Denver's on the table, but I agree that
Pittsburgh makes a
gonna
lot
be.
of sense for Rodgers next year. Pittsburgh and Denver, even, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Carolina's kind of an intriguing place for me to go to if I'm Aaron Rodgers. They have a above average defense. The weapons out there with DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Christian McCaffrey. That's a nice spot to go to also for Rodgers if they can trade for him. But should we move on to news number 3?
we'll make this one quick.
We'll make this one quick.
The ex-NFLer.
The guy who's never going to play a down of football again in his life because he's an absolute moron, Henry Ruggs III. If he's on any of your dynasty teams, drop him. Even if you think he's going to play again, drop him out of principle.
Right.
He's never going to play
He's never going to.
another snap.
He drove
in
156
the
miles an hour on a street that I have no idea how he got to 156 miles an hour on that.
It's a rural street. There's a sidewalk.
Yeah, in Vegas.
The cars were hit on a sidewalk.
Yeah, and
You should not be doing... And he was doing 170 before he hit the brakes to hit him at 150.
No, he was doing 156, hit them at 127.
And that's when the
Okay,
airport
so there
is
you go.
deployed.
And then he blew a .16, which is double the legal limit,
And had a gun in the car.
and had a fully loaded,
And had an
unregistered gun in the car.
Unregistered loaded gun in the car.
Yep. But he stayed for the scene. Some of these articles are like, yeah, man, he really did good by staying at the scene. Shut the fuck up.
Well,
Because he was
shell
too
shocked
drunk
and
to
couldn't move.
Thank you. I love how his mugshot, he's wearing the neck brace.
Yeah, for sympathy.
He probably needed it. He got into a car accident at 152 miles an hour.
And killed a 23-year-old woman and her dog.
Yeah.
I'd kill
So
him.
that is I love how you both looked at the dog. That was adorable.
Nephew.
Because we thought, what would I do if someone
yeah.
killed the dog? I'd kill them.
So-
I'd John Wick them.
So that's your end of your Henry Ruggs. Maybe they'll stop putting up those pictures of the Alabama wide receiver core of that year being the best that there ever was, and they'll just kind of fade Henry Ruggs out of it.
They should.
Biggest beneficiary, now that we're moving on from Wood,
Brian Edwards.
there is no one there. Brian Edwards. Yeah.
100%. Brian Edwards.
Now, Henry Ruggs wasn't getting a massive amount of touches.
No.
He was getting a massive amount of yards because he's their deep threat, but he was not getting a massive amount of touches. But it definitely narrows down the receiver panel of that team.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where Deshaun Jackson winds
Now
up
that he's
signing too.
released.
Now that he's a free agent.
That would make the most amount of sense as a deep threat.
Zay
he's already
Jones-
close to there because he's in LA, so
because right now
there's not far to go.
who's the new deep threat? Zay Jones.
Yes.
So
Which he was still their deep threat. He was just playing less. He's kind of like it was Ruggs and Zay Jones were the same thing that Van Jefferson and Deshaun Jackson were.
right. Also,
The only
Deshaun Jackson
question is-
leaving. Nice for Van
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Very nice for Van Jefferson.
Yeah. So I think Brian Edwards gets a little bit of a boost, not enough to still be a weekly starter. Prove it before you said it, type of thing.
Prove it before
You've
you
also
use
seen
it.
him get more touches, including more red zone touches since John Gruden left.
Brian Edwards. Yeah.
The offense itself in general has played a lot differently since
Because
John Gruden left.
they're using their however many
Because
millions
they're
of dollars
playing
running back.
offense. I know it's weird.
They're using
Right.
Kenyon Drake, who they gave a buttload of money to this offseason for no reason.
Yeah, imagine that.
Hmm.
You use the other running back when your one running back gets injured every single game.
Right. So
How
since we're
odd.
talking about now
Absolutely odd.
replacements, Brian Edwards, if you have a chance to get him, get him. If he's on your waiver wire, pick him up. Speculative at best right now. Going to Tennessee now, Jerry McNichols is obviously the bigger beneficiary right now, but we can't ignore, and I know this is hard to ignore, that they signed Adrian Peterson to the practice squad and are planning to elevate him to their regular season roster. The reason why I bring this up is because Adrian Peterson's style of running is very similar to that of Derrick Henry. Their profiles are incredibly similar. A guy that runs.
Adrian Peterson is also very well built and can stiff arm people into a different No, he can't.
Well, no.
He's 87 years old, and his wheelchair will still fit through the holes that their offense makes. So let's be honest. Yes, you should be picking up Adrian Peterson. The biggest problem you're going to run into is that it was announced on Sunday and Monday, and he was a free agent. So he probably never made it to your waiver wire.
Yeah, no, a lot of people were able to grab him.
Everyone who was in a position where they had someone they could drop or an empty roster spot made those moves.
Right.
One of the biggest things on Monday and Tuesday was everyone talking about how Adrian Peterson is already gone.
Right. And
so
I was one of those beneficiaries, I think, in the Gridiron Dynasty League. I was able to grab Adrian Peterson because I was able to. And Sleeper and Yahoo do this weird thing where if they were not in your starting lineup and they played a game, you can still drop the player if they're on their bench, which I was able to do. I dropped Khalif Raymond after he put up a big old goose egg and was able to scoop up Adrian Peterson because of it. Even though
the only one that doesn't allow that is actually ESPN.
Right.
Everyone else does allow that. You don't use them, you can drop them.
Yeah, which is, to me, it's a little weird. But
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either. But
it allows for Monday night ads when you need it. It allows for. This is one of the rougher situations. The thing was, Yahoo still had him registered as a Detroit Lion.
Yep. So you could
so
not.
As soon as the Lions played their game, he locked.
Yeah,
Yahoo was the only one you couldn't add him on. You could actually add him on ESPN as long as you didn't have a Monday night as long as you had a Monday night player, I should say. Yep. Which I dropped Brian Edwards. And then pick Brian Edwards back up.
Yeah.
Because I had no intention on dropping Brian Edwards. He was just my only droppable player at the time. And I have no running backs in that league. So I kind of had to make a stab at that. Yeah. Because Derrick Henry's my running back.
So I think the biggest beneficiary to Derrick Henry's injury is not a running back, and his name is A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown.
They're going to throw the ball more. Jerry McNichols is a nice running back. Don't get me wrong. But
I like Jeremy McNichols.
Henry.
He's not a 30 carry because he can also catch.
Right, but he's not a 30 carry running back. I think it's going to be a lot of.
I think they're going to split between Peterson and McNichols, but I do think there's going to be a lot more throwing. You saw a lot more throwing from Tannehill, even to Derrick Henry this year. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry was involved as a passer before he went down.
Yeah.
And in the one game or the couple of games that AJ Brown missed, that McNichols was featured. He had several receptions.
Right.
Julio Jones, you never know whether he's going to play or not. The other receiving options on that team are
Josh Reynolds,
Kenny Westbrook, and Josh Reynolds. So
yeah. Do you know who those people
Jeremy
are?
McNichols is definitely a.
Okay. It was just 3 seconds ago.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's good. McNichols is definitely a good speculative ad. If you were able to get AP, obviously he's going to sit on your bench
until he starts
for
playing.
A week or two.
I would not start him this week unless you absolutely.
He's got to prove he can still run, and that's the thing. Even starting, he has to prove he can still run. The Titans have to prove they will use him.
Right. Because Darrington Evans got hurt again, correct?
Darrington Evans is done.
Yeah, so
he's done. Very much like Michael Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He re-injured himself, and he is done for the year.
Right.
So in case you didn't pay attention to the Michael Thomas news, he re-injured himself, and he is done for the year.
Right.
He will probably need foot surgery. Obviously, the Saints, once they lost Jameis Winston, gave up on the year anyway, which makes sense for them. I don't care what anyone thinks they've given up for the year.
Mm-hmm. Taysom Hill is now the quarterback.
Taysom Hill sucks. They've given up for the year.
So Taysom Hill is going to be the quarterback, which means downgrade for every single wide receiver on the Saints, even though none of them currently had value to me. Marquez Callaway, nope. Traquan Smith, no. Adam Troutman, no. The only person whose value stays the same is Alvin Kamara's because it's Alvin Kamara. If anything, his value might go up. Because Jameis Winston finally figured out. Hi. Jameis Winston finally figured out that, hey, if I throw this ball to this dude, good things happen. So I think Taysom Hill's going to do that when he's not Bogart goal line.
I think Kamara, I was going to say Kamara's thing goes up outside the 5-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
It instantly gets downgraded inside the 5-yard line.
Because Sean Payton loves those quarterback runs.
Taysom Hill is going to take quarterback runs. So the long runs, those 15, 20-yard touchdown runs, those are still Kamara's. But you got to downgrade him in the red zone. The offense, I know you picked him in daily fantasy this week.
Taysom Hill.
But yeah. I specifically remember the first game Taysom Hill took over last year and the offense working like absolute, to use Matt Berman's terms, dog water.
Right, but I think I still remember that Taysom Hill had a good fantasy day because he found the end zone rushing.
And that was the Broncos.
Oh,
the second game he found the end zone twice. And Kamara put up 2 points.
And who are they playing this weekend?
The Falcons.
Yeah, that's why I went with Taysom Hill, and I thought it was okay. Because I don't like
expensive.
He's not expensive. Plus rushing work. Plus it's the Falcons defense, which hasn't been good since ever. So.
Oh, come on! Remember that time they played the Patriots? Oh,
yeah,
when they were up 28-3.
Yeah,
something like that.
Their defense is really good in the first 3 quarters.
Hey, at least the Braves knew how to close out a series.
Someone's got to do it in Atlanta.
Yeah, thank God it's the Braves. But yeah, this is a football podcast, not a baseball one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So we have
football.
Big news out of our podcast league, guys.
What happened?
Michael, Christopher, Taco McCarron made a trade. Let's give it up for him, Pat. Let's give it up for him. Did you propose that trade?
I did.
Oh my God, I'm even more proud. I am
myself.
so much more proud now.
Yeah.
So the trade was Michael gave 2 Suts, Jameson Crowder, and a 2nd-round pick.
Yep.
For Christian Kirk and a 5th-round pick. Yay.
Not bad.
Not bad. It's not it's not for the trades that I do, but it's a trade.
I did it though.
Hate it.
Why do you hate it?
I actually found it funny that they said it was the most balanced trade that's ever happened in this. I did not think it was balanced at all. I thought the picks were backwards.
Yeah, I feel like.
For being honest, Christian Kirk is a boomer bust. Obviously, this week without AJ Green, but if he also doesn't have Kyler Murray, it's a completely different situation.
Yep.
If Kyler Murray plays this week, Christian Kirk will probably be more on the boom end than the bust end with AJ Green being out. But Christian Kirk's been there for 3-4 years and really hasn't made an impact. Jamison Crowder gets 10 targets a day.
And Mike White.
Good team, bad team, mediocre team. He plays for the Jets. The other option is Braxton Berrios. And
Elijah Moore. Don't give me that face. Elijah Moore had a nice game last weekend.
Fine. He had one good game. I'll put his name in there. Elijah Moore.
That's back-to-back weeks.
Corey Davis was hurt.
Hold on, that's back-to-back weeks.
Corey Davis was hurt last week too.
That's back-to-back weeks where Elijah. No, he was not. That's back-to-back week where Elijah Moore.
Yeah, hurt in that week.
No, Corey Davis caught a touchdown 2 weeks ago. So that's back-to-back.
It was his only catch of the game.
No, he had 3 catches.
Oh my God.
Yes, 3 or 4. But this is back-to-back weeks where Elijah Moore has double-digit fantasy points. So they're doing different things with Elijah Moore to get him involved in the game. It's still not taken away from Jamison Crowder because they are playing more.
Elijah Moore, Hunter Renfrow, same player. Awesome.
Okay, that's fine.
Great
it's
player.
A safe floor.
Woof.
It's a safe floor. That's all I care about.
You know what's a safe floor? Jamison Crowder's a safe floor. You know who's not a safe floor? Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
I take the trade back.
I want to revoke it.
Well, I blame you two for not vetoing then.
We don't veto. Pat and I don't veto.
I don't vote, so
I don't veto either.
If you make a trade, you make a trade. Like,
I
good for you.
accept all things.
I
vote yes
vote.
for all things.
Yeah, and then
I don't vote, so there's 11 people.
And then people complain about trades that go through involving me.
We're not talking about that right now. So
that's an after dark one.
I get it because Christian Kirk has put up flashy numbers.
He's the sexy pick.
He's a
I
sexy
didn't
pick.
like it.
He's the sexy
I didn't
pick
like
out
it.
of the two of them.
And he's sexy.
To me, it's a meh.
If Christian Kirk resigns and AJ Green goes away next year and it's a dynasty league, okay, fine. Jamison Crowder's getting up there. We don't really know who he's going to be with next year. He signed a 1-year contract this year, right?
They restructured, so it was a 1-year contract.
Yeah. So you have Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. You do have a lot of different options. Michael Carter's coming out. Ty Johnson was getting a lot of looks. They're playing a backup quarterback.
Michael Carter,
who was, the best quarterback that the Jets have had in 15 years. But that's not the point.
the second quarterback since 1950 to throw for over 400 yards in their first ever start.
Yeah, Vinny Testaverde and Michael White.
No.
The first name?
No.
The fuck's
no,
the
the
first
other
name?
no, the only other person to ever do that in their first ever career start was Cam Newton. No, Cam Newton.
Oh, Tebow.
No, I meant on the Jets themselves.
Oh, to throw for over 400 yards.
The only other person that throw for 400 yards since then was Vinny Testaverde.
Right. You know that Mike White's jersey, cleats, and the game ball are in the Hall of Fame right now?
They belong there.
Because it's such a historic first career start. They have it on display in the Hall of Fame right now.
That's crazy.
Like, if you go to Pro Football Hall of Fame's Twitter account, they have the picture of it being displayed because he's the second quarterback since 1950 to throw over 400 yards in his first career start. It was an absolute...
And if you're pumped, and if you're feeling it, I have the Colts defense, and I'm starting them in every league this year.
Right, and that's what I told people to do.
And that's going to be the end of it.
And that's what I told people to do with the Bengals defense.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed it. He's not starting in my fantasy lineup. The Colts defense is starting in my fantasy lineup.
Colts defense is better than the Bengals defense, to be fair.
Yeah, they had a good game against their division rivals, and everyone overreacted, and that's awesome.
That was me.
Because sometimes Lamar Jackson has bad starts.
But
you gave up 400 yards.
Yeah,
so I had the Rams going.
Michael Carter looked really good. Also,
the only prediction on this podcast I got right last week
was Michael Carter.
Michael Carter. What did I say? Check down, check down, check down, check down. He had 10 catches.
Right, and we didn't. I
think that qualifies for check down, check down, check down, check down.
And we didn't really talk about it on the podcast last week, but Pat and I had a separate text conversation where we were talking about Joe Mixon last week against the Jets. Pat said that Joe Mixon was going to have 69 total yards, score a touchdown, leave the field, and look at the camera
that's
and
what
say,
I said.
nice.
I said he was going to leave the field after he got 69 yards and said nice. So I'm glad we're on the same page.
Me
and Taco rocking it right now.
I said he was going to have 100 total yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 91 total yards and 2 touchdowns. So I was close. But
I did say there was going to be 2 rushing touchdowns. I thought they would split them.
Right.
They did not.
Right.
P. Ryan did not get one.
Because the game was a lot more competitive than literally anyone thought.
And that was...
Mixon was on the field a lot.
Right. So
go Jets. Jets. Jets.
The 2 touchdowns I was not surprised by. Again, the yardage, he didn't break 100 yards.
You got close.
He didn't have a very good day, but he had a very good fantasy day.
Yes, he did.
A very good fantasy day, which this is a fantasy league. You don't have to have a very good day in real life.
Right. A la Najee Harris.
You don't have to have a very good day in real life.
Right, Najee Harris at the beginning of the year was getting 2-3 yards per carry and then getting like 9 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. So not overly efficient, but a good fantasy day was not what Najee Harris was getting. So, but going off that point, expect Jonathan Taylor this week to have a monster week going up against the Jets for the same reason Joe Mixon did. Jets suck against running backs.
And the Colts have decided that their 2 backup running backs are going to get 5 touches each. And they've stuck with that for the last 4 weeks.
Yep.
So Hines and Marlon Mack have gotten 5 touches each. And Jonathan Taylor's gotten everything else.
As he should, because he's an absolute beast.
Don't expect a shootout where you're going to need Nyheim Hines to be catching balls out of the backfield.
Jets winning 42-38.
Don't expect Marlon Mack to get on the field all that much. The trade deadline has passed.
There is whiskey in there.
Okay.
There is whiskey in there, yeah, so.
And as I segue into this next point, I'm going to make a second point after that. Don't be surprised if you see Marlon Mack get cut at some point.
OBJ.
They're done with him. No one wanted to trade for him. And there it is. Guess who else is going to get cut very soon?
Thanks
Wasn't at practice today. was told to not come to practice today.
because of
Bro.
because
Is
of
only
OBS.
getting 3 touches.
You heard what
a
his dad did,
game.
right?
Yeah.
He posted that
Yeah.
11-minute video of all
posted it.
these he's wide open or Baker's overthrowing him. Odell Beckham Sr. got Odell Beckham Jr. out of Cleveland. So Odell Beckham Jr. is probably going to get cut by the Cleveland Browns and probably going to wind up signing somewhere that needs a wide receiver. We were just
Did
talking
you hear
about
where
them.
all the rumors are?
Green Bay's one of them.
New Orleans.
New Orleans makes no sense to me because
No
it's Taysom
sense
Hill
whatsoever.
throwing him
He's
the
not gonna
football
get
that
any
makes no
touches there
sense.
They're not going to get any touches there either.
So we have Odell Beckham Jr., drama queen. Michael Thomas, drama queen. Let's put him on the same team.
Giants.
Well, at least Michael Thomas isn't playing this year.
Could you imagine if he goes back to the Giants?
Also, don't forget you have Marshawn Lattimore there.
Oh my God, another drama queen.
Drama queen.
Oh my
So,
God, it's the
It
drama.
would be like they could put on they'd
Drama
have a
club?
better chance of
Yes,
putting
the
on
drama
a
club.
solid play
Nice.
than making a playoff team.
Drama club, I like it,
Drama
Mikey.
club.
No, but to me, the place where Odell Beckham Jr. makes the most sense, in my opinion, would be going to Green Bay, where they already have an established alpha, which is Devontae Adams, and Odell Beckham Jr. should then understand he is not the alpha. You go to a place with an established top 3 wide receiver in the NFL, he should be okay. I could see him also going to New England because Bill Belichick likes to take these troublesome players and try to help them. Or, he could just say, fuck everyone and go to Tampa.
I had a weird one.
Bruh.
San Francisco.
Because Brandon Ayuk sucks.
Brandon Ayuk sucks. They need someone. If they can get a receiver for cheap. Deebo Samuel has been on the injury report every week. George Kittle is up and down. They got in a running game right now. Elijah Mitchell showed up last week on the fantasy score sheet, but
then
not
got hurt.
necessarily every other score sheet.
Also got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Right. I heard a rumor before, like someone posted it on Twitter. They said that you should probably look into doing this, Houston.
and there it is.
Trade.
So,
Is it? Oh, finally Sutz accepted it?
it is.
Okay.
He did. So, while we're live, let's get into it.
I knew this trade was coming. To be fair, everyone.
I have made the move, as someone who's out this year, to acquire Derrick Henry. I have given up Alvin Kamara and my 6th round pick for Derrick Henry and Taco's 2nd.
You're welcome. So this
Um,
means you should give me Derrick Henry.
No.
No.
Try to use some Jedi mind trick there.
Yeah.
You went for it.
Yep. It was a good effort.
This is my Derrick Henry.
You posting the poll, Patrick?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I will let you segue into the rest of the trade and the reasons for it, because you obviously know why.
So, Sutz is in 3rd place now in the league because he lost to yours truly, so he dropped the spot. Then on top of losing, he lost his RB2, which is also his best player on his team, Derrick Henry. He has Jonathan Taylor, so he was okay, but then he was a little thin after that at running back. And by a little
Melvin
thin,
Gordon.
Yeah, it was Melvin Gordon. He needed to make this move.
it.
Whew.
So I
Veto
basically-
came in hot.
Wow, that was a very
That
hot
was a
veto.
quick veto, whoever that was.
I sent him the offer
Wow, that was a hot veto.
pretty much
My guess is Ricky.
right after the news broke, and I sent him a message, and I said, I will give up Kamara, but I want a draft pick also. I just traded my 2nd round pick for Mike Williams. So that was I didn't go after a 1st round. I said I wanted back into the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured with the difference between Kamara and Henry in the long term, not all that different. Kamara gets more catches than Henry does. Henry is the undisputed rushing champion of the NFL.
Right. I also sensed a disturbance in the force.
Oh boy.
So, as Pat knows, I sent a trade offer for involving Alvin Kamara too, because I had a feeling that he was somehow magically becoming available. And I offered Pat a very nice offer, I think, for him, but I understood why he took this one instead. I tried to lure Pat with Cooper Kupp. Try to beat the Raiders.
My biggest downside to that was giving up
AJ Brown,
my number one running back and my number one wide receiver.
Right.
The return on that was Cooper Kupp, which is the number one wide receiver.
Antonio Gibson.
And Antonio Gibson, who needs to just sit out for 3 weeks and get better.
Right, so future prospect in Dynasty, which is what Pat's looking for. And
right.
I also offered a first-round pick, too, in there.
This next year's first.
No, this year. You already have my first-round pick next year. I was offering you my
do
brother's.
I
was offering you my brother's first-round pick for this year's draft also. So.
And I was giving you
a fifth this year and a second next year, and I was giving you like a fifth next year or something like that. It was it worked out where it balanced itself out.
Yes, it did balance itself out. I do love AJ Brown. I do. I've been saying that since this all started. Cooper Kupp is on a different level, so for me, he's hard to put in a trade. Just because of where his valuation would be right now. He's leading every wide receiver in fantasy by a lot. Yeah, which is why I thought I could get you to bite on it. I think he averages 10 more points per game. But as we have discussed, I'm not in it this year.
No.
So next year comes around, Cam Akers is back.
I don't think that changes much for Cooper Kupp.
I don't think it changes much either.
Because Darrell Henderson's playing really good football as a running back, so I don't think Cam Akers coming back changes that narrative.
It just puts 2 good running backs in there instead of 1 good running back and Sony Michel. Again, they don't really like to run the football anyway. Right. We've discussed that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had my bones to pick with Sean McVay about that. But it just felt like giving up number 1 running back, number 1 wide receiver. First round pick is obviously a big draw, especially in this league right now. That would have given me 3, though. I have 2. I can pretty much pick and choose who I want in the first round. And next year, Derrick Henry back. I don't think I really lose much over Alvin Kamara. So it was more of a simple trade. 1 for 1, get the better draft pick.
Right.
Move forward.
Yeah. I get it.
Obviously,
and
Kamara for Gibson's not going to make any sense. And Brown for Kupp, that doesn't really make any sense on the other end. So that was where my viewpoint was of that. Plus, I started negotiations with Matt before I talked to you. And the offer was close enough where I was good with it.
Right. And I knew Pat was at least intrigued by my offer because he didn't immediately decline it or text me and
Which
say,
is usually what I will do with Tim when I don't like it.
Right. If it sits there, I know Pat's like, oh, I may have to think about
I stared
this
at it. I waited for Matt to get back to me to make it. I waited for Stotts to be like, yes, I'm in for this. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to do this 1 for 1.
Smite took a page
I did attempt to get a second and a third. Don't hold it against me.
Yeah.
Did attempt for more.
That would have been a lot.
we were going back and forth for a little bit. But it makes sense for Stutz to only want to give up 1 draft pick. Derrick Henry's a big name. But if he doesn't get someone, he's pretty much done for the year.
Right, and Stutz gave up a draft pick that he just got.
He wasn't. Yeah, it was Mike. He still has his own second round pick.
Exactly. So he essentially gave up Derrick Henry and Christian Kirk and got Alvin Kamara. So I'm okay, and Jameson Crowder, and I'm okay
Crowder.
with it. Yeah, I'm okay.
It's a good move for someone at the top. He made smart decisions,
right,
when it comes to that, and sticking with it. So
right, I made the push for Kamara because of Antonio Gibson's shin. Right now, I think Antonio Gibson is going to be fine.
He needs to sit out.
Which is why I think they gave Jarrett Patterson 11 carries or 13 carries, something like that.
He played very sparingly. I started him in the actual daily fantasy that I adjusted my entire team 67 times, and I started him because back-to-back weeks, Denver had given up 100+ yard rushers to 2 touchdowns, and one of those was D'Ernest.
Right.
So there was just no continuity in the Washington running game, which is the thing I was hoping for from it.
It was incredibly confusing too, because this was the first time since like week 1 that Gibson went into Sunday with no injury designation. He wasn't questionable. He wasn't on the final injury report, which is why, and I told you this offline, that I thought that they split the work because they were going into the bye week. So they gave Gibson a quick little break, and now he has a bye week now on top of it. So I do think coming out of the bye week, Antonio Gibson's going to go back to that Gibson 20 carry workload.
You got to see what the shin is, and the thing is, so if you give him a light workload, he's got a bye week. If that shin doesn't respond,
shut him down.
Shut him down.
You're not making the playoffs.
You're not doing it. This ain't the year. So
shut the kid down.
All of your wide receivers are getting hurt every single week. So I think that was more of a factor.
RG3 treatment.
Just shut him down.
Just
John Taffer. I
wish RG3 would have gotten the RG3 treatment.
Just call in John Taffer, have him come in and look at them, be like, he's got a broken shin. Shut it down.
Yeah. So if the shin does not respond after the bye week, or if he doesn't feel any better, I do feel like this is a situation where Washington kind of hands it in also.
Right, and the way I look at it is if everyone's like listening and you have Antonio Gibson and you see that Jarrett Patterson got however many carries he got last week, I don't think it's a changing of the guard. I think next year, Antonio Gibson fully healthy is still one of the most explosive running backs in the NFL, and he showed that last year. He didn't lose his explosiveness. He had it, obviously, on that 73-yard screen that he took to the house earlier this year. He has it still. It was a good play by him. That was literally all Antonio Gibson on that play in the blocking.
Passing him the ball.
Pass him the ball. He's a former wide receiver. Pass him the damn ball. Get J.D. McKissic out of here. But that's the other thing. Like, J.D. McKissic is getting the same work that he got last year. The only difference last week was Jarrett Patterson's inclusion. Like I said, I think it was them giving him a break because I don't think they needed Antonio Gibson last week against Denver. They lost to Denver, right?
Yeah.
Right?
So. Yeah, but 17-10.
It was a close game still. They didn't need Antonio Gibson to be
Teddy Bridgewater.
Exactly. So I think they also do have Tampa coming out of the bye. Tampa a couple weeks ago, you'd be thinking that's terrible, but Tampa recently has been a little bit vulnerable to running backs, to the likes of Khalil Herbert rushing for over 100 yards against them, and I personally think Antonio Gibson's a better running back than Khalil Herbert when healthy. So you got to see with the shin, but seeing as this is a dynasty podcast, I wouldn't overly panic about Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the teams that have
very much like I said, when you have Derrick Henry, you're probably in compete mode. Most people drafted Antonio Gibson as that RB1, RB2.
I did.
My
top two
probably
running backs
probably on the low end RB2 end for most people that aren't named Tim Murray. So it's probably not it's not having the same impact that Derrick Henry had, because you probably still have the RB1. So you were expecting him to put up RB2 numbers. He's not doing that. He was putting up semi-flex numbers depending on the league you have. So you probably weren't counting on him anyway. So this is not a reason to panic. If you can get someone who's saving for next year, who's willing to overpay a little bit for Antonio Gibson right now, it might make some sense. Like Tim trying to get A.J. Brown and Alvin Kamara by giving up Antonio Gibson. The numbers are going to be there next year, so see what you can grab for this year.
Right, like
someone who's out.
In another league, I offered up DeAndre Hopkins and Antonio Gibson for Alvin Kamara and a draft pick because the guy's in second to last place. You're not making a comeback. Built to the future. Your wide receivers are absolute dog water. Your Antonio Gibson is a
now we're all gonna fucking say it.
Yep.
Now we're all gonna fucking say
100%. So
Berman doesn't even watch this.
So
I feel like we're giving him too much credit.
So whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, no,
fuck him.
Not my type.
I'm not pivoting off Antonio Gibson. I'm in win now mode in almost every single dynasty league I'm in. I'm trying to win now. It's not that I don't like Antonio Gibson. I want to win this year, so I'm treating it more or less as a redraft ranking than a dynasty ranking for him.
We have one more.
What?
I have one more.
Oh,
I thought there was another trade. I was like,
The
what?
fact that he wasn't mentioned and the fact that he wasn't on your radar shows the type of year he's had. But Calvin Ridley has decided to step away from football
Tajay Sharp season.
for no one knows how long. He had sat out the week before. No, he sat out the London game
Against the Jets, yeah.
He was injured. No, he came back the week after that, or was he hurt? And then he sat out the next week.
Yeah.
And then he made his decision to step away from football. For whatever reason, we won't get into that.
He said it was to focus on his mental health. So only thing that we can do is we can wish him his best. Get your head right. Your mental health is the most important thing for yourself as a human being, as a fan, as a football player. It doesn't matter. Get yourself straight. Get your head right. That's what matters the most.
Listen, don't make stupid mistakes because your head's fucked up.
Right.
Rugs.
Yep.
You sneezed.
That's what happens. That's what happens. That's what happens when you get your head wrapped into things. Josh Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Ruggs.
I give him all the credit in the world for having the strength to step away from football to try to make yourself right.
Giving up money to make yourself better.
Good for you.
Is better than everything those other players have done.
And if anyone out there has a problem with him doing that, shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
Not here to judge him.
No, I applaud him for doing it.
Right.
Make a statement that's fantasy relevant. Calvin Ridley was drafted early because of his breakout year last year.
And Julio
he's had
Jones
his struggles this year, which we discussed. He was on my worst drafted list.
Right, and who knows, that could have been because of whatever this is going on with him. Right. So it's not this is he's been a quote unquote bust this year in fantasy football, and he probably is going to continue to be a bust because who knows when he's coming back. He could come back next week. He could never come back, period.
Yeah.
We don't know. So now just analyzing this as fantasy football players like we are, you don't have a pivot option in Atlanta besides Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts up. But Kyle Pitts is also going to get a lot of coverage now.
So Cordell Patterson
is already getting a lot of coverage. Cordell Patterson out of the backfield. You have to think that at this point, Patterson and Davis both start making an impact. Because you're running out of options. Russell Gage has not shown that he can play this year.
Tajay Sharp's played better than Russell Gage.
Olam Zacharias, I don't even know his full name. He's not doing it.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's not doing it. Tajay Sharp has had a couple of good games. He had a couple of good games with Tennessee, but he's never had that impact over the course of a season.
Right.
Patterson has. Once you get the ball in his hands, you know what he can do. So I would expect Patterson to start playing more of a
wide receiver role.
Yeah, more on the receiver hybrid role than in the running back hybrid role. At this point, you have Mike Davis. It's time to hand him the ball. You've paid him.
2 RB sets.
Put Patterson out somewhere.
You don't even have to
You don't even have to options.
You don't have to put him out wide. Have 2 wide receivers. Have Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts on the field, and then have Patterson and Davis in the backfield. Davis is there as an RPO option, and when I say RPO, I'm not saying like for Matt Ryan to run the football like in Justin Fields' RPO. You hand the ball off to Mike Davis, or you do a little swing route to Cordell Patterson and out like a flat route to Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst up the seam, something. They're going to wind up using 2 tight ends, 2 RB
pass
sets.
Option.
Yeah.
Read pass option. Yeah. Not necessarily a run pass option.
Yeah, so I would expect
the team. I got to get rid of the ball.
I think the snap percentage is going to go up for Mike Davis. The snap percentage is going to go up for Hayden Hurst because Hayden Hurst isn't a terrible receiving tight end by any means.
He never has been. He's always been underrated because he's been stuck behind someone else, and now he's stuck behind Kyle Pitts. He was stuck behind Mark Andrews for the longest time. I offered, and I honestly thought this was a pretty good offer. And here, it's a regular league. No dynasty, no nothing like that.
So it's a redraft?
Redraft league. 14-team league.
Ew.
Whoa.
The guy has no running backs. And when I say that, allow me to go into his team and pull up his running backs. Because me saying that doesn't mean anything. I will actually pull up who his running backs are. Hold, please.
Go ahead.
His running backs are Damian Williams. That can't count, right?
Does he even play?
Kenyon Drake.
He does play now. Okay.
Yes. Derrick Henry.
Ouch.
Woof.
Miles Sanders.
Ouch.
Oh, even I know that's bad.
Oh, and no one.
Okay, so who'd you offer him for Kyle Pitts?
No. I offered him Mike Davis for Zach Ertz.
Oh.
God, that just makes you want to throw up.
He has Gesicki
Oh.
as his tight end.
Yeah, Ertz is expendable.
That's like me holding
He
on to Jimmy
instantly
Graham.
denied it.
Why? Is he playing Ertz in his flex?
Right now he is.
Do I know this person?
He has on his bench. Hold please. This is fun for me also. Russell Gage, we just talked about. Kendrick Bourne. And then he has Corey Davis.
I hate 14-team leagues.
Well, he also has 3 defenses. He also has Njoku. He's got Samuel on his IR.
Oh.
And
Rip.
he's so
Do I know this
the
person?
team's a mess, but this is the league where I have the most points scored, and I'm 3-5.
Oh, do I know this person, Patrick?
No, you do not.
Okay.
This one you do not know. But this is the league where my team, and I'll recap for you: Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, Dell Henderson, Robert Woods, DJ Moore, Boston Scott, DK Metcalf, Rashad Bateman. Then I have Dawson Knox, who's just waiting to get healthy again.
Yep.
Kadarius Toney, Adrian Peterson, and Scotty Phillips, who I'm a fan of and I think is going to get used more. But that's a situation for 3 weeks from now when he actually starts to break out.
Right.
And then my starting tight end right now is Sweeney. So I don't really need the tight end. I just wanted something more consistent until Dawson Knox gets back.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that.
And instant denial. And I didn't think it was an instant denial type of trade.
I don't think so either. I would have considered it.
When was this trade?
If you have
with,
Gesicki.
The trade.
Yeah,
of
why am I holding
Ertz
on to
going
Zach
to
Ertz
Arizona?
and I don't have a running
And
back?
Gesicki's past his bye week.
Yeah, I'm holding. Why do I need Zach
It's
Ertz?
not like you're swapping out. Gesicki's past his bye week.
This is after the Arizona trade.
This was yesterday.
Oh.
Well, I shouldn't even say it's 11 p.m. This was today. This was after waivers cleared, after everything.
Yep.
Sent the trade offer, denied within 5 minutes.
Makes no sense.
The
And
one
I didn't think it was
touchdown.
with Calvin being out, with the way they're going to have to use it, and with him having no running backs after it cleared waivers. I didn't think it was that bad.
I don't think it's bad either. I would have at least tried to do a little negotiations. I wouldn't have immediately declined it and then done nothing.
It's hard. It's hard to negotiate in a 14-team league where you have nothing else to negotiate with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kinda
Your
gross.
starting running back is Kenyon Drake.
It's kind of gross.
At least Mike Davis puts up 10 points a week.
Right.
It's a sexy name, that's why.
What? What'd you say?
It's a sexy name.
Who has a sexy name?
Zach Ertz.
What is this, 2015?
Yeah, Jimmy
It
Graham.
hurts when I fart.
Okay.
Are we bringing back these
Yeah,
names?
Bring it back.
Jimmy Graham.
Tyler Eifert needs to get back in this league.
You know what? This one podcast I listen to called Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Grandpa.
He's a legend, though.
Yes, he is, because he's the first tight end that tried to get paid like a wide receiver.
Actually, so fun fact, McCarron, do you remember the trade I offered you
Uh-oh.
Oh, I remember this morning.
He doesn't remember what he just
For-
ate for dinner.
for Laviska Shenault?
Oh, that's probably a good one, too.
No, I don't.
I think
I was ready to overpay for him the first week he was going to get used. And Michael just ignored my trade completely, and he responded in true Michael fashion with
LOL.
an LOL.
Bones.
What was the trade?
I don't remember.
I'm assuming this is in Pat's league.
Yes. I know Mike Davis was in that one also,
Yeah.
but I also know I offered you something else.
What was this, the ESPN one?
Yeah.
This was ESPN, yeah.
I don't remember.
What did I offer you?
Why are you so mad right now?
I really want to remember what I offered you.
The dog isn't happy.
I gotta stay home from work. My dog's not happy.
It's an understandable reason. Boop. Do you have it saved in your email or something?
I don't have it saved.
You should have it.
I'm just trying to look at your team. Or,
That person might not even be on Pat's team anymore.
No, I think they still are. I really want to remember who it was. Might have been Jalen Waddle.
What's your team's name?
He's the number one team.
COVID-19 Titans 23.
Still from last year.
I haven't changed it. It's 8-0. I'm not messing with it.
Right.
I ain't messing with it. You go 8-0, you don't change the name.
I had to change my name to Yippee-Ki-Yay Justin Tucker. It's classic.
My other team name is the Annexation of Puerto Rico. Because after the first week, I dropped my entire team and picked up a new one.
Oh, what are you, my brother?
That's not it. No, that's bourbon.
I was gonna say that's not.
Now I feel hurt.
That was Devontae. It was Devontae Parker and Brandon Ayuk for Laviska Shenault.
I'd taken that.
I would have taken that too. Actually,
To be completely honest with you, that's probably the best trade he's ever offered someone. I'd have taken that in a heartbeat.
Shocker, another bourbon one.
We'll talk offline about it, but there were some interesting ones he sent out today to people that I got screenshots of. So,
on the good end or on the bad end?
Well, I'll give you one. I'll give you both. I really don't care. He doesn't listen anyway. Who do you want the one from? Do you want the one that you offered my brother first, or the one you offered Alex first?
No, give me one you offered Alex first, because Alex has bad trades also.
Right. You're right. Hold on, I gotta find my text. There it is. He offered to Alex. He wanted Ezekiel Elliott for J.D. McKissick and James Robinson. It's a no-go from me.
No
That's
picks.
No for me.
No picks. It's a no-go from me. Because I don't know what James Robinson's value is next year.
I would throw out McKissick and just say that the trade is Robinson for Elliott.
Bless you.
In which case, anyone who likes Ezekiel Elliott would say no.
And then Berman offered my brother. He was giving my brother Kadarius Toney and a 2023 third-round pick for Chris Godwin and a 2023 seventh-round pick.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
That one's easy.
That one is a very, very, very hard no.
I thought about offering your brother a second-round pick for Chris Godwin and including other stuff in it before last week. Now, the biggest thing is once Antonio Brown is healthy, again, that offense goes back to a three-way wide receiver thing. Mike Evans was shadowed by Lattimore last week, so Godwin's stats have been a little imploded over the last 2 weeks, but he's still way up there in terms of receiver. So, no.
You're still searching?
That ain't going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just look for Shenault?
I'm just looking for Chanel.
Yeah.
Are you just in your ESPN trade thing?
No, he's in his emails, and he searched for Shenault.
Why don't you just type in ESPN?
That's what I did.
Okay. How many trade offers do you get that you just ignore?
Oh, it tells me every trade.
Yes.
I would have just searched for Shenault, because we know Chenault's the one involved.
But it doesn't search like that in my email.
It doesn't. You have to search by the person who sent it to you.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's stupid. I just delete my emails too often to actually find this. Even in my trash folder, I don't think it would be there anymore.
There you
go. All right. Oh, my God.
Who was it?
Michael Pittman Jr.
It was Pittman.
Oh, my God.
I knew it was someone good. I knew it was someone good. I was like Waddle or someone. I offered him someone I should have never offered him. And he said no.
I didn't say no.
He said LOL.
I just
and I was like,
never got
really?
to it.
Yeah, so
Michael Pittman, who the past 2 weeks has been a top 10 wide receiver.
I know when this started in your head, you were thinking like, no, he didn't make him a good trade offer. There's no way he made him that good of a trade offer. He did.
He did. When it started off in my head it was probably one where at the time it didn't seem good. Because Shenault was supposed to be like the next coming of Jesus.
Jesus. He turned out to be.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he turned out to be the guy who mows lawns, not the guy who saves lives.
Yeah.
Um,
Like Berman.
don't add that part. Can you cross that part out?
I don't edit these videos, Pat.
All right,
I just upload.
daily fantasy.
Oh, what happened here?
You got my original team instead of my change team. Otherwise, I'd have crushed your ass.
You would have beat me by like 15 points if you used the other team. You had 160. I had 145.
Oh, did you score 145?
Yeah.
I'm impressed by
I
you.
won $6.
Yeah, I won 50.
Sued mama.
Oh, well,
I won 40 with one and 10 with the other.
show off.
The two teams I had that I sent you both of them, I changed them both.
Yeah. So
Like they were both
show off.
they were
over
both
here.
bad.
Doesn't have to take a shot though.
They were both bad. Where is this? Yeah, 158 and 154.
Any other vetoes? It's still just me, Mike, and the veto. I'm assuming.
Yeah, well,
it's
5
just.
views and 3 votes.
I'm telling you.
I don't want to call people. I don't want to call people names or anything like that.
I know who the veto is based on who saw it.
Let's see who.
It's Ricky.
Who viewed it?
Why would Ricky veto
Merrill,
that?
Ricky, you, Pat.
Merrill's not vetoing that. I'm not
Fancy.
vetoing it. Mike's not vetoing it.
No,
Pat's
I'm
not
just curious
vetoing
as to
it.
why you think they would be a veto.
Process of elimination.
No, I get who you think did it. I want to know
Why?
if you can figure out why there is a veto.
Because Ricky is sometimes influenced by Berman.
Right, but Berman's not in the trade. Berman's
No,
not.
that's not the point. The point is that you're involved in the trade.
It's like you and Merrill trading.
It's one of the commissioners is involved in a trade. Oh no, there's something wrong.
Is that simple for him to veto?
It's
Like,
all Ricky also didn't like when my brother was making trades earlier in the year because there's too much moving around. These are two very big name, very high profile people being moved. So
that's a no-go?
That's also why Taco doesn't trade. A lot of the trades people offer him include high, big names, and he's shies away from making those deals because they're big name players. That's why he made the trade with Sutz, because those are two Ooh, Raphael?
I love turtles.
Is that Raphael?
You're
yeah,
right.
there.
Should
I
we,
told you I did love turtles.
should we upload the picture of Berman?
No. Okay. I don't know what picture that is. Do I want to know?
His ass.
Oh.
Well, it's what we got from Amanda and him.
Oh,
one
right,
day.
right.
Yeah.
So do you have our slides set up for this Pat or no?
Oh, I might. Sorry. Oh, by the way, I got promoted.
You said new job, so I had no idea what that meant.
Yes.
I thought it meant that
am
you were
now
dad
the-
again.
I am now the district manager of the northern to middle New Jersey Russell Cellulars.
So what does that mean?
So I have a 2-hour drive to work every day
Ew.
with a company car.
Oh. What kind of car?
But it does not give me the time to sit at home on my computer or at work on my computer and do spreadsheets, which is why I don't have a spreadsheet for today. I do have weekends off starting this weekend, so I will have time to do these things. Plus, I'm home by 4:30 every single day.
That's
even
nice.
though I work 2 hours away.
What
So
That's pretty sick.
I will have time. It's just this week I've spent all week meeting the reps
Transition.
and the managers and doing training and
Where in Jersey
driving
are you
around.
Gonna, where in Jersey are you going to be stationed?
My primary store is actually Warwick. So if it gives you any idea, the closest store I now manage is Warwick.
Ew.
I have Linden, Middletown, South Orange,
Middletown, New Jersey.
Middletown, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yes. South Orange. I had a sheet. I don't know.
Doesn't even have that
but I have-
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have that
those
spreadsheet.
Those spreadsheets are everywhere right now.
Unbelievable.
I do. It's actually on the.
Well, congratulations, Patrick.
If we want to play a game here for a moment, now that you've asked that, I have 2 spreadsheets opened here.
Oh boy.
Oh no,
I'm
afraid.
because that's my life right now. One of them is my DSM report.
I don't know what that is.
With my so I have Sparta, Warwick, Skillman, Sparta, Middletown, South Orange, Linden. So there you go.
This is Sparta.
This is
So, yeah,
Sparta.
exactly. I've actually made that joke multiple times already.
They're gonna
So
hate
that
you.
is what I have for them. I do not have our spreadsheets. I do have our spreadsheet from what just transpired and I just took the shot for. So I will go ahead and send everyone my terrible, no good, very bad team. Because that's what they were. So this was how the teams that we actually presented broke down. Probably should have done that instead of a period.
Wow, we both chose a guy who put up a big old goose egg.
Woof.
Yes, we did. I did change out of him for Cole Beasley and the actual thing I put in because I'm not a moron. But when I did this list, I was a moron. I don't think I kept I kept Michael Carter, which that was it.
Who's
and
that?
Washington
Who's
defense.
that? The guy on Tim's team?
Michael Pittman.
Who's that guy?
All I know is that Michael Pittman was a great pick.
Ah.
My one I had Deebo Samuel, Michael Pittman, and AJ Brown. And it was the great Michael Carter, and I went with the 4,000 running back on that one also, and that didn't work out so well.
Yeah, Mike Evans saves you from being under 100 points by scoring that random ass touchdown.
Yeah. Well, the other league that I sent you the other one for, I swapped out Mike Evans with Chris Godwin. So there were several changes that went into that. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to play a reveal game.
Games.
Dun, dun, dun.
But what kind of card did they give you?
I'm going to go. It's a Hyundai Elantra. It's not that special. Don't care.
It's still free.
All right. It is still free.
Now,
Let's
hold on.
get it started.
I do have another question about the job. Did they give you
Yes.
like a company, like a personal card to put like gas on, or do you have to do that and then they reimburse?
I get a corporate credit card and a gas card.
Pat's buying the
Drinks
drinks
up
at
hat.
bowling.
Nope, don't work like that.
We're on the same
It's
page.
a business meeting.
I'm going to start showing up to bowling now. It's a business meeting. We're potential.
I'll discuss that later.
We're potential buyers.
Yeah.
I'll discuss that when I'm not on camera.
I do need a new cell phone.
Pat, we have 3 viewers. Are any of them your boss?
I don't know.
Pat's boss, you didn't
I
hear
don't
any
know
of
how to
this.
track who views. I do know that my boss does listen to podcasts and
I don't think we're on that
all
radar
that stuff
yet.
on his drives, and he's
good thing
stationed
we're only-
everywhere.
Well, good thing
so
we're
if he
video
happens to
only.
find this, I don't want to be here.
Well, good thing we're video only still. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
He can still view it. They pay for YouTube. They pay for Zoom. I could do Zoom for anyone right now. I have unlimited Zoom. So you want to hit up a Zoom? I have a room
maybe we'll do it next week just for funsies.
Yeah.
paid for.
Yeah.
Let's
Chat roulette
kick it
all
off.
over again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Taysom Hill. Taysom.
JC.
I can't really see and type at the same time. My microphone's in the way.
Taysom Hill. Yeah, I picked him because rushing floor going against the Falcons. So, yeah. And he's cheap because they still don't have him as a starting
You want
quarterback.
to talk about
price.
cheap?
Oh, yeah, Jordan Love.
Oh, boy.
I talked about him earlier going against a terrible Chiefs defense with Devontae Adams. He should be okay.
Devontae.
Yeah, Devontae.
Yeah.
Nicholas Chubb for Pat.
Going up against the Cincy defense, they did wonders against Michael Carter.
Michael
I'm
Carter
just
did a
gonna
lot
leave
of
it
his
at that.
work through the passing game, which Nick Chubb doesn't get, but I still get it.
It's Dearness Johnson's the other option. He's gonna get passing game touches.
So I might pick up Dearness Johnson daily fantasy.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook. You want to know why? I don't think I need to give a reason why I chose Dalvin Cook in daily fantasy.
He's okay.
No, not against Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore's terrible against the run this year for some reason. The one thing they're usually very good at is the one thing they're really bad at this year.
Their defense is terrible this year overall.
They had, like,
to
one
every
good game.
aspect. They were expected to be top 3 in the NFL. I know they lost Marcus Peters. I know they had their issues, but they haven't showed up. You spent a lot of money
On running backs.
at running backs, and
I did.
I get it.
Yep. Aaron Jones.
Rodgers? No.
Yeah, well, it kind of the same thing that happened this past week with Thursday Night Football, they didn't have Devontae Adams, so they had to focus more on the running game and rely on the running backs. I think the same thing because there's no Aaron Rodgers. They're going to do a lot more running, relying on the running backs because Jordan Love's going to be looking for an outlet on a lot of plays because I bet you Kansas City's going to be blitzing. So dump offs to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones got a safe.
Here's my thing: if you're selling out on running backs as Kansas City, it's my only downside for Aaron Jones. And again, I think he's going to have a good day. If you're selling out on Aaron Jones because you don't expect Jordan Love to do anything, the Kansas City secondary does not have the ability to fix that. They don't have the ability to cover for that. They have Honey Badger, but they have nothing else.
Right, which means I don't think they can afford to sell out on the run.
If their top 7 is selling out run, you still have Devontae Adams.
Right, which is why I don't think they will be selling out run because there's Devontae Adams.
I think you have to sell out run, at least in the beginning. I think for at least the first half, you have to sell out run.
I also do think that A.J. Dillon is a sneaky good play this week because of what they did last week. He got 15 carries.
The sad thing is we discussed last week, and then he had 15 carries, which is good for real life. He did nothing fantasy-wise.
Because he didn't score a touchdown. He had a good yards per carry and all that
and
stuff.
He
just needs to score a touchdown.
A secondary running back is touchdown dependent, and it's funny that we say a secondary rushing back is touchdown dependent because
Kenyon Drake. Also, there's Josh Jacobs is on the injury report because he's on the injury report every week.
He was on the injury report 2 weeks ago. They had the bye week to recover. He's going to be limited in practice. Right. I think Josh Jacobs plays. Don't hear me out on that. But as we discussed, there's a certain player who's never playing in the NFL again that is no longer there. Brian Edwards hasn't gotten touches. I think the running back game gets improvements. You had Jacobs and Waller on the injury report going into the bye week. When Jacobs went down, this coach at least showed that he was going to use Kenyon Drake when the situation arose. I think the situation arises.
He even used Kenyon Drake before Jacobs got hurt. So, I don't mind it. Debo! It's kind of hard to not choose Debo Samuel.
He's been there every week.
It's kind of hard to not choose. I was trying to figure out how I can do that, but then I'd be getting $2,000 wide receivers, and I can't do that.
I hate it. I hate it because he's on the 49ers, but he's my South Carolina guy. He's been go-to all year. He's who I gave up Derrick Henry for in the beginning of the year. I had a feeling it was going to be a big year. It's been a big year.
Can we talk about that? Can we go back to that trade real quick, though, where everyone thought that was a bad trade, and it turned out to be probably one of the more even trades that we've ever seen because of how good Derrick Henry was at the beginning of the year and how good Debo Samuel is.
There's a reason I'm in second place right now, and that reason is Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
My running backs have not showed up at all because I expected Miles Sanders to be something he's not.
Yeah, by the way,
on me.
I'm starting A.J. Dillon against you this week, Pat, because we're playing each other. So I don't really have a choice because Derrick Henry getting hurt.
Are we playing each other in multiple leagues?
In multiple? Oh, Sleeper, I don't really count.
We're playing Sleeper.
I'm playing Sleeper. You're doing something.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah, but I have A.J. Dillon in my RB2 slot because Antonio Gibson's on the bye week and Derrick Henry got hurt. Dude. Yeah. Devontae Parker. First game back with Tua. Devontae Parker lit it up. And they're going up against Houston, I believe, this week, correct? Yeah. Devontae Parker. That's my... Yep, Devontae Parker had a real good connection. He has a good connection with Tua. He had a good connection with Tua last year. He's going to have a good connection with Tua this year. So, I like Devontae Parker.
Then we'll go to the other place you spent all the money.
It's fun because I don't remember who I picked. Stephon Diggs. Yeah, Stephon Diggs is in the top 5 in the NFL this year in air yards per target. So, for those that don't know, it means every target that he gets, the air yards, is how many yards the ball travels before it gets to him in the air. So what that means is when those get connected on, that's fantasy points. So Stephon Diggs has been a disappointment for where he's been drafted this year, but the air targets are there, so it was only a matter of time before this stuff fully clicks. 2 weeks ago, he had his best. 3 weeks ago.
We talked about it last week. We talked about last week how it was when we were talking about your brother and having him and how we were on the disappointment maybe list, but how you can't list him as a disappointment yet because he has so many weak defenses coming up. And sure enough, last week he showed out.
He got a touchdown, and that's salvaged this week.
Again.
I don't remember who the Bills have this week, but it was a matchup where I was like, okay, I'm taking stuff. I think it's Jacksonville. If it's Jacksonville, Stephon Diggs is going to feast.
Rookie of the year.
Michael Carter. You know, I almost picked Jamar Chase, too.
Oh,
Nope, Jamar Chase. It's Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. There's no, you don't honestly.
It goes without explanation.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Right? Okay, good. He's playing the Browns. Yeah. I mean, if Elijah Moore can have a good day against the Browns, so can Jamar Chase.
Even Michael knows who Jamar Chase is.
Whatever. Anyway.
That's a good boy. You're so weird.
Thank you.
Hollywood, he's been actually, like, and it's weird to say this, he's been consistent. Except for that one game against Detroit where he dropped everything.
So here's the thing. We remember Halloween night, right? We remember the Cowboys beating the Vikings.
Come on.
Right? We can't forget that.
Good.
Where did they lose? My God, this dog is just all over this.
Yeah, she needs attention.
Yeah.
Bring Unity onto the show.
Mike's gonna have to like pick her up and.
Where did it come from?
Where do you go? Where do you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Where did you come from? Anyway, so the big plays, right?
Yeah.
That's where
Marquise
Dallas's win came from. The big plays. Marquise Brown's the big play.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Bateman, keep him in your lineup.
Right.
Don't throw him away. He belongs there. We talked about this one already also.
Yeah, you know, targets have to go somewhere. So, dart throw. Cheap. He's 4,100 or something like that. So
Speaking
he's
of
cheap.
dart throws, let's go back to back for you.
Let's go. I needed to save money somewhere. So, I went with the Bills because they're playing the Texans. Or the Jaguars. They're playing the Jaguars.
We
Terrible.
both save money here.
Yeah?
Oh, not Tamu. Oh, my God.
No, it's fine.
What's wrong with
Tamu.
me?
It's like Janu.
Oh, we're working towards it. We both save money here. Speaking of team we just talked about losing.
Conklin.
Hey.
Been getting red zone targets. 10 points per game. Only cost $3,000.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances where I can get them. Speaking of the Miami Dolphins, 13 targets last week.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase twice. I don't think that's a thing.
I really wish I could. Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
They couldn't connect, but the targets were there.
See
There's
Devontae
nowhere else for
Parker
them to go.
playing the Texans.
See Devontae Parker playing Texans.
They still can't run the ball in Miami, so they got to throw it.
You had Cooper Kupp and you had Robert Woods both put up monster days. Van Jefferson still had a good day. I don't expect anything to hold back either of those two wide receivers.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle was cheaper than Devontae Parker. So
and for those of you at home, Pat did have Devontae Parker in his lineup, but for the sake of diversity, he took him out. So Pat,
I had four of these players. I had Dalvin Cook, I had Devontae Parker, I had Brian Edwards, and I had the defense that we'll get to.
So Cordero Patterson in my flex, I paid a little. He's I think 6,000 or in the 6,300. There's no Calvin Ridley. He's got to throw the ball to someone, so it's gonna be.
He's in as a running back.
Patterson, yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be the running back. I don't think that's where he makes his money. I do think he makes his money this week. I don't think that's where he makes it.
Right. And I'm just all in on the Dolphins this weekend. They're playing a bad team. I don't think Tyrod's playing this week. He's still day to day. They haven't said that he's going to play. If Davis Mills is playing, the Dolphins defense.
So here was my downside. Buffalo. I had the Dolphins defense on there before. Here's my downside on the Dolphins defense. The Texans just went against the Rams defense. The problem is once you're up by 40 points, you don't feel like playing your players anymore. The top two cornerbacks from the Dolphins have had their injuries so far this year. If they get a chance to be up by 40, like the Rams did, you bench them. Unfortunately, when you bench your team against the Texans, they keep playing their starters.
Right.
And Brandon Cooks gets 113 yards, 5 receptions, and a touchdown against your backups. But Brandon Cooks looks awesome. And then it's a 14-point game, and the spread was 14.5, 16.5, whatever. Anyway. Oh, I hit the caps lock button. They just showed out every single week.
And they're playing
The Saints
against the
defense
Calvin
have showed up.
Ridleys. No Calvin Ridley, so
They've shown up every week.
yeah, they're a good defense.
They were super cheap last week. They got a pick six. They had another interception on top of that. They had a fumble recovery. They average 10.4 points per game.
They're safe. They're a safe. floor
My
when it
tight
comes to
end does not
defense.
average that much in this moment. So Tyler Conklin only averages 9 points per game. So the defense I picked averages more points than my tight end does. So I spent a little extra there, $3,400. There was more expensive teams.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much where it was. I will this week leave this team the way it is and then go buy another team if I don't like this one instead of changing the entire team
Thank you.
into something different, which makes it super hard to keep track of this stuff, it turns out. Because if you don't keep the team, you have to go and add the points yourself, and that's a lot of effort for me. Taco,
Yeah.
how you feeling right now?
To the
How you
cloud.
feeling?
I feel like I need to make another trade. Something
Just accept my one in
insane.
Yahoo. That's an insane one. The one in Yahoo.
I didn't even look at it.
Yo,
to
if
be
you
honest.
want to make trades in Yahoo, hit
Stop,
me up.
stop,
I got
no,
3
no,
players
no,
on
no,
the
no,
IR
no,
that
no,
are
no.
going nowhere that you can have for next year.
No. No, what I offered you is what you,
You
should
don't want
accept.
me to say it out loud to me?
No, because I don't need him bogarting my trade.
Which one? Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Look who would possibly do that, Tim.
Did I bogart your trade with Sutz? No.
Did I give you a chance to?
Did I tell someone to not propose a trade to Sutz because he already had one in place with you? Yes.
Did it matter?
It kind of did. I knew what he was going to offer, so it would have been a little enticing.
Who was the other running back?
Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, it would have been a little.
Kamara's over Elliott.
That's a good trade, and you know it is.
Let's hear it.
No.
We're here.
No.
We got 5 more minutes.
If
Let's
you
hear
hit
it.
accept, then we'll talk about it.
Smythe, I'll just screenshot it to you.
Oh, you bitch. Okay, well, we should wrap it up. We're at an hour and a half. I said it was going to be a relatively short one, and we went to a medium length one. So,
And
Well,
I gotta wake up
that's
at
what happens when
4:30.
you have a lot of players that are going down.
going down,
Week by
down,
week.
baby.
Meet me in fantasy. It going down.
Okay, anyway, on that fine note by Taco.
That was the dance in the music video.
Okay, well, anyone else have anything to say?
Couldn't have possibly been the dance in the music video.
Look it up.
Okay.
I'm Hood.
No, it's going down, not I'm
Okay.
Hood.
Push him.
No,
You got the
I'm
wheels,
Hood.
right?
Because there's a song called I'm Hood.
Yeah.
I'm so hood. Sorry, anyway.
DJ Khaled.
Yes. Okay, good night, everybody. Say good night, Michael.
Good night, Michael.
I hate you.
I hate
You knew he was going to say that.
I know.